as the Utah State Aggies and VCU Rams meet for an opportunity at a Quad 1 win in non-conference play. Welcome in to the Comerica Center on Urban Edge Network. Alongside DJ Draper, I'm Kyle Yeoman. So glad you're with us. DJ, two teams that were in the NCAA tournament a year ago, both highly touted in their respective conferences, and a chance at a big win in non-conference play today.
Yeah, for the fans, you're watching two of the best mid-major programs in the country. They can beat anybody, any night. Top 60, both of them in the KenPom rankings. I expect a good matchup.
It's a new coaching staff for VCU and some new faces as well on both of these rosters. We'll start with the Rams, of course, champions in the A-10 a year ago. They've got a guy named Lazar Djokovic who is already making an impact for the Rams on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, might be one of the best names in college basketball to They can beat anybody, any night. Top 60, both of them in the KenPom rankings. I expect a good matchup.
It's a new coaching staff for VCU and some new faces as well on both of these rosters. We'll start ready. Making an impact for the Rams on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, might be one of the best names in college basketball to say, and he's a really, really good player. At his size, he's got soft hands. He has the opportunity to be a double-double machine, and I think he'll take the Atlantic 10 by storm.
Averaged just 8 points per game last year with Charleston, made the switch to VCU, and had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple of blocks in a win against Wagner, their first time out. On the other side for Utah State, MJ Collins, also a transfer out of Vanderbilt, put up 23 points in his debut for the Aggies.
Yeah, in today's college basketball landscape, if you can get an experienced transfer guard who can score, good things are going to happen, and that's MJ Collins, the transfer from Vanderbilt. Not a lot of people expected Vanderbilt to do great things last year, but he was a big part of their surprise.
First 2 seasons of his college career were at Virginia Tech before transferring to Vanderbilt as a junior. It's the second all-time meeting between these two squads. Both have been on a neutral site floor. VCU won the only meeting. That was back in November of 2020, 85-69, the final score. The Rams win the tip. They're in the white uniforms going from left to right on your screen. Utah State and the Aggies in the road Navy uniform. They will go from right to left. Glad you're with us here on Urban Edge Network. First college game of the campaign from the Comerica Center. Nick Lewis, the freshman, takes the opening shot for the Rams, and a quick foul on the rebound opportunity.
Early on, you see Utah State in a little bit of a matchup zone. You know, you try to avoid some paint touches when you play that matchup zone and force VCU into some long threes.
Lewis, the lone freshman in either starting lineup, played at Gonzaga High School out of Washington, D.C., was a top 60 recruit, according to ESPN, in the class of 2025. Jadrian Tracy gets the scoring underway. He knocks down the triple, and the redshirt senior and a transfer from Oregon is on the board.
The Rams are really excited for what he can bring to the table. 6'6", strong, versatile guard, can play inside and out.
At 13 points, 5 rebounds in their win against Wagner. 103-74 was the final there. Utah State wants to answer. This one tipped out of play right in front of the VCU bench. It will stay with Utah State. In that matchup against Wagner, VCU raced past in front of a sellout crowd at the Siegel Center on Monday night. They outscored the Seahawks 52-34 in the second half. Here's Allen. Drake Allen, the transfer from Utah Valley. Once the WAC newcomer of the year. Pass down low. Open backdoor cut to Carson Templin. He has the two-handed slam.
You'll see a lot of that tonight. Utah State just great at decision-making. All 5 players can really play all 5 positions. See Falslev with a great pass and dump off.
Both teams score on their opening possession down the floor, and Brandon Jennings has an open look from the low block, kisses it off the glass.
Huge key to the game. Seen early turn from Utah State. How can you deal with VCU Rams pressure?
Let's take a look at the dunk here from Templin on the backdoor cut.
Yeah, Falslev 6'3", able to catch it in the paint and dump off to Templin.
Talked about that pressure. It's a part of what made Phil Martelli Jr. so successful with Bryant in the America East. Went to the NCAA tournament with the Bryant Bulldogs. had their second NCAA tournament appearance since the program transitioned to Division I, as they won both the regular season and tournament title in the America East. It now takes over in Richmond with this VCU squad, who has helped elevate plenty of head coaches to new roles. This one taken away. Utah State wins it back. Players diving on the floor last second. A whistle blows. It looks like we'll have a jump ball. And possession arrow belongs to the Aggies.
You see early on just a little bit of an error from the freshman Nick Lewis. Most of these college basketball programs want to force all guards to the baseline or to the sideline. Nick Lewis took the bait, went to the double team.
Each team with a few turnovers early. And a moving screen called against Templin as this goes the other way.
And Lewis, such a great job recovering on the defensive end. High ball screen. He gets over the top. Watch him be really physical over the top here. And you force the ref into a foul call.
It's already the third foul against Utah State. Anderson, Falslev, and Templin all have picked one up here in the opening 2.5 minutes. Jennings. Work around, baseline drive. Evans cut off. There's an open player in the inside, but Templin swats it away at the last moment. Utah State wants to run with it, but they step out of play. MJ Collins was setting up in the corner, but he had his heel on the baseline.
Look at this block from Templin here. Great cut from Tracy, but Templin, experienced defender with long arms.
From the top of the key, here goes Barry Evans, a Bryant transfer with Coach Martelli. Turns it over, back to Drake Allen. Allen, kick out, wing extended, and Anderson knocked down the triple.
Yeah, Anderson can really shoot it. Great job running his lane.
Junior transfer from Central Arkansas, and another takeaway for Utah State. They go right back to Anderson on the fast break. Templin with a paint touch, driving on Djokovic, turnaround, falls. He has 4 early points for the Aggies.
And really not bad defense by Djokovic. Just better offense from Templin.
Templin at 6'9", 230 pounds, up against the 6'11", 235 Djokovic, and he still had a bit of room, and he draws a charge on the opposite side as well.
Templin, the Texas native, man, playing hard for his hometown fans.
He does have some family in the building, played at Lovejoy High School, only about 10 miles from where we are here in Frisco. About as close of a neutral site game as he could have asked for.
That's right. And if VCU can just be a little more patient on offense, they really are going to find some great opportunities. Utah State in like a matchup zone. You just got to get past your first defender, and then things open up.
Remember, both of these teams scored over 100 in their opening matchup. Anderson left alone in the corner. This one knocked down. It's Falslev with the 3 for Utah State. Falslev, the junior out of Benson, Utah, and an all-conference honoree, has his first bucket, but VCU answers quickly. There's the second one to fall for Jadrian Tracy.
Yeah, don't take for granted the talented basketball that we're watching, right? I mean, these are two teams that will be playing deep into March.
VCU ranked number 31 in the net at the end of last season, where Utah State was at 37. Right now, Utah State at 40 in the Ken Palm rankings, which are accurate compared to VCU, which is at 60. Drive, blocked away. Brandon Jennings sees this shot pushed back, and it's out of bounds in front of the Utah State bench. What a start we've had in Frisco. Fireworks early on, just getting started in a non-conference battle in a possible Quad 1 game. On Knoll. Djokovic back to Hill. Hill drives, gets bumped in the process. No continuation. That would be a bucket if the Texas Legends were playing today. Instead, it was a foul on the floor, and they'll pass it in from the sideline.
Hill's doing a good job. You know, he's attacking the front of this zone, and you got to have a really dynamic guard to get past his man, and good things happen.
Hill. This one poked away. Now Knoll puts it up at the end of the shot clock. Got it away in time from just inside the arc.
And Knoll really bailed out his VCU Ram team because that wasn't a great possession. They were extended the whole time. He's a talented player, and that's why you recruit guys like that.
Elijah Perryman getting his first minutes. This one over and back. You talked about Knoll and the pressure there defensively that VCU wants to create. They found it on that possession.
That's right. At his size, 6 foot in the box score, but probably a little bit less. You got to play like this. All the kids watching at home, you're an undersized guard. You got to be a pest guarding the ball.
Terrence Hill will inbound after the turnover. 5th turnover for Utah State in the matchup, equaling VCU, who had most of those 5 turnovers early. Now another paint touch and another foul. This time Tyrell Ward gets inside, the transfer from LSU, who did not play in the opening matchup. Back out on the floor for the first time with the Rams, and he'll go to the free throw line as well.
He's got to watch out for, can really light it up from 3.
15th foul against Utah State in the matchup. First one on Keller. And he misses them both. Ward shot 70% from the field, and from the free throw line rather, at LSU last season. Empty possession for VCU. And MJ Collins and the Aggies extend their lead. They go inside. Gary Clark backing down the defender. How about the defense there from Ward? Perryman drives, has an open lane, and takes it down the left side. Whistles in the backcourt as Lazar Djokovic is down. You don't want to see that. One of the better players on this VCU squad.
That's right, he's in pain.
And good to see him back up, but that is not the sight that the Rams want to see. Here's a look at it.
Goes up and
landed awkwardly, maybe on the heel of Gary Clark there, maybe? A better look at it. Watch Clark flying in, trying to get past the box out.
yeah, you see that ankle just roll. It's a big blow for the Rams, too.
Yeah, that one's not fun. The transfer from Charleston just in his 2nd game. He had 21 and 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks in the season opener, and now massive force for this VCU squad out with injury. Hope to see him back in the game soon. Here's Tracy.
Utah State really not helping a ton in the gaps. So VCU, if they can just find the time to get past that first offender, they're going to have a ton of looks.
This one poked away, stays with VCU, but only 2 on the shot clock as Perryman gets a hand in the passing lane. Look at Collins talking here with Tracy. think this means something on the road? Neutral site game for both sides?
For sure. Those are two experienced transfer guards. I mean, they're playing this game so they can play at the next level.
Turnaround put up by Hill, but he misses it all. Shot clock violation against the Rams. Turnover number 6 for VCU.
Yeah, and VCU fans, I mean, really offensively, you're not doing a bad job. You're shooting 50% from the field, 44 from 3. It's the defensive end where we've got to get a little bit better. I mean, Utah State's shooting 75% from 3 and the field.
Perryman, the freshman out of San Francisco. Build up the stat sheet in his collegiate debut. Now he makes a crafty move, waits for the defenders to separate, and he takes the open lane to the cup. 4 points in the early going for Perryman. VCU needed the Finley roll that time from Knoll. Utah State building a bit of a lead here midway through the first half.
And Utah State really doing it with a lot of reserves in the game. We talked to Coach Calhoun earlier, and the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season last year, his team, he just felt that they were worn down, and he told his assistants, he said, hey, next year, I want to play a deep team because I do not want to get run down towards the end of the year. And you're seeing that tonight. I mean, you're seeing 10, 12 guys all being a part of this game.
Trying to make an early impact. Utah State shooting 77% from the field, 10 for 13 shooting, and they've made their last 5. Turnaround, that's a rare miss. Pick back up though. Clark goes up strong, takes the contact for the and one.
Yeah, and Utah State's physicality is really showing right now. Clark with a great play, just threw it off the backboard right to himself. Got a rebound and put it back up for the and one. Look at this. Go get your own rebound. Great job by Clark.
You and I had the opportunity to watch Clark play in sparing minutes under Billy Gillespie at Tarleton State a couple years ago. Then he transfers to Texas A&M Corpus Christi and is named All-Southland in back-to-back years. Put up a double-double in his first game with Utah State. 12 points, 11 rebounds in their win against Westminster. That's 7-0 run for Utah State. If you want to extend it, it's actually a 13-2 run for the Aggies, and this might grow. Elijah Perryman gets it away. The guards running in transition. Utah State feeling it in the Lone Star State.
You're really seeing Utah State. What makes them so good is they don't make mistakes on offense, and defensively they're going to play with great physicality and turn you over.
And heartbreak. When she passed away, it was because of diabetes.
But no matter your diabetes story, we fight for you and to find a cure. Join us at diabetes.org.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say, game on. Because whatever goal you're heading for, together, we'll get there.
Almond Breeze has 50% more calcium than dairy milk with 0 grams of sugar and fewer calories.
Wish every choice was this obvious.
That one.
More calcium, less sugar, fewer calories. Almond Breeze, the obvious choice.
There's a new sauce in town. In your snack wrap, Buffalo Ranch. Tangy, creamy. A little mild and a little wild. Buffalo Ranch snack wrap for a limited time at McDonald's.
VCU, what a recent history the Rams have started to put together. Of course, they had another great year last season. A-10 champions, wins against Miami, Boston College, Colorado State. They defeated Loyola and St. Bonaventure to get to the A-10 final. Then took down George Mason in the final by 5, 68-63 the final. Then they went into a matchup with another Utah squad. How about BYU? 80-81. They fell by 1 point in that early matchup in the NCAA tournament last year. A lot of people had VCU as a possible upset bid, including myself. I thought the VCU Rams would have it last year, but ended up coming up short. You know the Rams are poised to make another run and get back to the big dance.
For sure. They had a tough task last year against BYU, because if you remember the previous year, BYU got bounced by Duquesne, 6-11 matchup, so BYU was not going to lose that game.
Out of the corner, this one short. Picked up on the rebound by Bell. A rare miss from Utah State, as they have shot 70% from the field throughout this first half. Reset to Nick Lewis. Work around for Evans. The penetration just has not been there from VCU. And the tip that is not there either. Christian Furman nearly had it.
He didn't get a basket, but I think that's the type of play that they have to do. They got to get around the rim. They're just rip driving closeouts. They're not jabbing and going one or two directions. And that's kind of what VCU's doing on offense. They're jabbing right, going left, but they just kind of rip those closeouts and attack straight line downhill.
Hill Jr. checks back in. A little more shooting possibility here for the Rams. It's a team last year that really prided themselves on rebounding. Of course, they lost a lot after the coaching change and through a transfer portal year. They were first in the A-10 in terms of rebounding margin. Right now, being out-rebounded by Utah State midway through the first half, rather, and now you see they finally. Still haven't seen a ton of him this year. 9 points in the opener, 6 points in this one so far, but he's only played 8 minutes here. Seems like Utah State may be pacing themselves in non-conference play with some of these stars. They go to him here on the low block. And they said he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Coach Calhoun, though, they really do. They want to play more guys. They don't want to see their starters get into that 30-minute range.
A little confusion. It looked like the initial call was VCU basketball as he stepped out on the baseline. Instead, they called a foul on Jennings, so it remains Utah State basketball. His second foul. There's Templin. He'll drive, gets around a defender, they'll wipe it off and call an offensive foul. Said Templin pushed off. It's his second foul, and it goes the other way.
Yeah, a lot of times if a guy is so open, it's usually for a reason. And you see right here, the wraparound from Templin. Good try, though.
You were an offensive playmaker. Do you feel like that was enough to call a foul there?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Just a little extension with that right arm. Not a ton of contact, though. This one's picked off by Utah State. It goes into the backcourt. Now a broken play, and Drake Allen gets in the passing lane again. Anderson, extra pass to Collins out of the corner. It drops. Utah State can't miss here in the first half.
No, and Drake Allen with 2 great defensive plays that led to that open 3.
9 points for Collins. His encore performance after having 23 in the opener, and Jennings drives for his 3rd make from the field.
And that's the play right there, what Jennings just did. Straight downhill, man. Didn't worry about who's in help or the defender in front of me. Let's get downhill and 2 feet in the paint.
Over 5 minutes and change remaining here in this opening half. Still a long way to go, but VCU doesn't want to be staring at a double-digit deficit if they don't have to going into the break.
Right.
A little extra full-court press here from the Rams. Uber experienced Drake Allen. Played over 100 games in his collegiate career. Different experience on both of these rosters as Collins turns around. Misses off the back iron. There's some more experience with the offensive board. Gary Clark has it blocked up top by Evans. Out of bounds, it remains with the Aggies.
Man, I love Barry Evans. I played with a guy in college named Thomas Bell. You guys probably won't know who that is, but one of the best players in North Texas history, in my opinion. And Barry Evans plays just like him, just a winner.
Bell was a key piece of North Texas's first trip to the NCAA tournament. MJ Collins open again, has hit back-to-back threes. He's up to a dozen points already. Here goes Hill. Driving on the bigger defender in Tucker Anderson. Pump faked back to Tracy. Now Lewis wants to drive. He's cut off by a double team. Volslev on the floor, steals leader in the Mountain West a year ago, and he pushes ahead for Collins. 38-24, VCU wants to drive. They'll call that a blocking foul as Tracy attacks the paint. Volslev called for his second. Nothing but impressed with what Utah State has done so far.
Oh, for sure, and it really is starting on the defensive end. This matchup zone is causing a lot of problems for VCU. It's so top heavy. You see 3 big guards at the top of that zone. It's hard for the VCU guards to look past it.
Utah State, 12 points off of fast break opportunities today, compared to 0 right now for VCU. That's the difference in the game.
That's right. A lot of it, too, is you look at the shooting percentages. Utah State 65%, VCU 47%. So, I mean, that just shows that Utah State is making 20% more shots, which leads to less fast break points for VCU.
Also, not to mention, Utah State with 7 steals. They averaged 8.5 steals per game last year. They already have 7 here in the first half. They still have 4:17 to play. They could match their total if they keep up this pace by the halftime break. Rams running pressure again. Ball's left. Here's Drake Allen. Allen, there's a near steal. Finally a foul called, says head coach Phil Martelli Jr. He looked relieved that there was a whistle there, and then it wasn't steal number 8. We've got a timeout on the floor. Utah State leading this one by a baker's dozen in Frisco.
Welcome to the start of the new year.
Coming out hard like
Take control. Worry about yourself, nobody else.
We've been flying, that's so plain.
Keep grinding, Peloton. I'm here with you. Come on. Walk in, out.
I be going hard.
That's the way you push through, baby. Proud of you.
You make me feel mighty real. You make me feel mighty real. You make me feel.
Win.
Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner.
Is this for real?
Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to win, win, win. You could win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Free food, a TV, and this, and these. There's even $1 million prize.
I'm finally a winner.
Now you're getting it. Play in the McDonald's app and get your bag. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with Hope.
Utah State locked in to a 13-point advantage over VCU at the moment. Had quite the year last year, going all the way to the NCAA tournament. And they're picked again to be in the contention. Picked second out of 12 teams in the Mountain West, only behind San Diego State. That's a really good Aztecs team this year.
Yes.
Utah State defeated San Diego State last year in conference play.
Utah State's really become a household name in March Madness. Great fan base, too.
Absolutely. They get into their basketball at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum, which I also think is just a great name for a basketball arena, the Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Incredible college town, too. When we were talking to Jared Calhoun earlier, I asked him about crumble cookies, asked him about Blackstone Grills, both of which being founded in Logan, Utah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a dream. Getting on the Blackstone in Logan, Utah with the mountains in the background.
Absolutely.
What are you cooking on the Blackstone?
Oh, man. Breakfast tacos all day.
Here we go. Great job.
Down low.
VCU. Yeah. It's a good job from VCU, man. They can really flip the script here. They just got to figure out a way to get in the interior of that zone.
Quietly, Jadrian Tracy, transfer from Oregon, has already tied what he did in the last matchup for the Rams with 13 points. 4 of 5 shooting. He's knocked down 3 triples. You'd have to think if you're VCU, if you can get this back into single digits by halftime and kind of keep Utah State at arm's length, this is still anybody's ball game going into the second. High bounce pass. Open opportunity for Evans as he explodes. Ball put on the floor, picked up by Bell, but he drops it again. And now Bell's still fighting for it, and there's a foul called. It's going back to the Rams.
Here we go. That's exactly what you want to see if you're a Rams fan. Guys diving on loose balls, being the first to 50-50 balls. See this right here. Yeah, Barry Evans and Nick Lewis doing a great job diving on loose balls. And that's what you want to see. Bell gets involved, and that's the type of energy that's going to flip the script.
Remember, VCU without Lazar Djokovic, who went down with an early injury. He has not gone back to the locker room yet. He's still being worked on the VCU bench currently, and he is walking around on his own power as they are testing whatever the injury may be. It's a lower body injury. This one poked away. Tracy with the steal. 3-on-1 down the floor. Tracy takes it himself. 15 points for the Oregon transfer.
Great job by Tracy. Direct line to the rim. Didn't try to slow play it. No Utah State player could block it.
MJ Collins, the other leading scorer in the matchup with 14 points.
Yeah, if they can take MJ Collins out for just a few minutes, they'll have a chance.
They'll line up this one. He misses it. Rebound to the Rams. Little pace, little confidence from VCU. Evans, corner three. This one rattles in for Nick Lewis. Don't blink. VCU can close the gap, and here come the Rams.
Used to be known as the havoc that Shaka Smart created. VCU turnovers into offense, and I'm telling you, if they can find themselves in the paint, just like Barry Evans does there, they're going to get great open looks.
This is the run that if Utah State could have avoided until the second half, they would have, but instead it's an 8-0 run. Coach Martelli's squad has made 5 of their last 6. Back within 3 possessions with so much time left. This one is far from over.
Yeah, in Utah State, there's so much rhythm-based of an offense that if you can just blow up 1 or 2 actions, 1 or 2 ball screens, 1 or 2 handoffs, it does get them out of rhythm.
Utah State going to put in most of their starters. Collins and Falslev back on the floor themselves, along with Perryman, Clark, and Keller. Lewis, Evans, Hill Jr., Bell, and Furman on the floor for VCU. Falslev nearly had that one poked away, too. Perryman to Keller. Extra move. Clark open. Beautiful pass by Zach Keller to hit Gary Clark on the low block.
ATOs, after timeout, what Bill Self is elite at Kansas. Coach Jared Calhoun does a great job there.
VCU not going away. Back-to-back trips ending in a Nick Lewis 3. The freshman starting to heat up.
I would say Nick Lewis probably has the most potential of anyone in this game. You know, young freshman player, but when he gets it going, he's going to be a fantastic guard.
Had 10, 5 rebounds and 5 assists in his first collegiate game. Ranked number 57 in ESPN's top 100 recruits in last year's class. Also spent some time with USA Basketball. He was invited to the U19 training camp last summer and spent some time there prior to joining the Rams.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach Roos, the strength and conditioning coach for VCU, and we asked him about Nick Lewis. He said he just gets it. You know, with his experience level playing USA Basketball, he just gets it.
Great drive that time by Perryman, another fab freshman. He was the 29th ranked point guard in the 25 class. A couple of freshman guards going back and forth these last few trips. Perryman at Clayton the 5th High School. Clayton Valley Charter, excuse me. They were called the Ugly Eagles. That was the nickname. That was the moniker. Not a nickname off to the side. That is the official nickname of the Clayton Valley Charter High School.
Ugly Eagles.
They were the Ugly Eagles.
All right.
Pretty good basketball squad, too.
I'd probably rather be an ugly eagle as a mascot than a pretty eagle.
Oh, you would rather be ugly than pretty?
Yeah, that's got to mean you're a tough competitor.
Maybe you're missing a couple teeth.
Yeah.
Well, you were a scrappy eagle at North Texas. That's the
right.
name of their mascot. They're the mean green, but they have an eagle. His name is Scrappy. Maybe a similar thought process there.
Yeah, maybe so.
Tracy workaround for Nick Lewis. Back to Tracy. Long 3, in and out it goes. You'd have to think Coach Martelli feels pretty good about the way that the redshirt senior can make that shot.
For sure. You got 10 toes, point to the rim, line it up and knock it down.
Perryman again. Wants to drive again. Cut off on the left side. Back out to Falslev. Falslev, Turner in the paint. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but he gets an offensive rebound. Now his putback is good. Teamwork down low between Falslev and Keller.
Yeah, Falslev just finds himself in these opportunistic situations. He just seems to always have his ball, right near the rim at the right time.
Final possession of the first half. VCU down by 9. They've successfully cut it to single digits. With a 3, they could be down by 2 possessions. Anything else, it will be 3 possessions at the break. Hill drives, gets a good look at the rim, but he hits it off the back iron, and that will do it for the first 20 minutes of action in Frisco, Texas, from the home of the NBA G League Texas Legends. It's Utah State 45, VCU 36.
That's right. What looked to be maybe a runaway by Utah State, VCU really settles in. It's a little bit more tough on defense, and they got it back to a ball game.
Go, 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 go. He's in the club, I might just pause. Look at my feet, come kiss my toes. I move my waist like fast and slow. I do too much, yeah, I do plenty. Friday and I just got paid. I can talk my talk for days. They love how I fling my braids.
Keep your chest lifted.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, 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 go.
I'm saving the coral reefs using underwater AI.
I'm helping food get to those in need, fast.
I am reducing waste in the global fashion industry.
I'm helping make live theatre more accessible for the hearing impaired.
I'm securing our future.
I'm disrupting the world with quantum computing.
I win.
Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner.
Is this for real?
Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to win, win, win. You can win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Free food, a TV, and this, and these. There's even $1 million prize.
I'm finally a winner!
Now you're getting it. Play in the McDonald's app and get your bag. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Almond Breeze has 50% more calcium than dairy milk with 0 grams of sugar and fewer calories.
Wish every choice was this obvious.
That one.
More calcium, less sugar, fewer calories. Almond Breeze, the obvious choice.
Hey, this is Cole, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Pretzel Cheddar Club is the spicy filet with the pretzel bun. You get a new flavor with a new texture. It's toasted on the outside, but the inside is soft, and then you hit the spicy chicken filet, and it's like, whoa.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Beautiful Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. The shared home between the NBA G League's Texas Legends and the training facility for the NHL's Dallas Stars, playing host to a mid-major matchup here in non-conference play between Utah State and VCU. Right now, Utah State up 45-36, the halftime score, alongside DJ Draper. I'm Kyle Yeomans. It's just the beginning of hoop season. It's one of your favorite times of the year as a former player yourself. I love college basketball, always have. And the way that NIL and the transfer portal has had its hands on college basketball, these next few months are going to be as crazy as any. Unpredictability, crazy big matchups, and this is one that we've gotten to watch tonight.
100%. You know, I think there's a lot of negativity around the NIL college landscape, but what it does, it really does even the playing field, in my opinion. You see a lot of good players that can really step into a position and show out, like MJ Collins.
Yeah, MJ Collins, transfer from Vanderbilt, has had a pretty showing in his first couple of games here with Utah State. Let's talk about the real contenders across the country whenever it comes to teams that want to get into March Madness and have an opportunity to make a run to the Final Four. DJ, I'll let you start. We've each made our picks, our predictions to start the campaign. Where do you feel like the Final Four is headed this year?
I'm a little chalky.
Those are two teams that are loaded. But the way that the SEC has played the last few seasons, of course, Florida winning a championship last year, I can't leave out the SEC. I just think there's going to be one team from that conference that makes a run. I'm going with the Kentucky Wildcats. A little bit of a under-the-radar team, but right now, if you look at the Ken Palm rankings, they're number 3.
Yeah.
They've got a shot. They're as good as anybody in the country.
No, they really do. And their head coach, Mark Pope, he's got some Utah ties.
Yes, he does.
Right? And he knows how to play ball. I mean, he was a great Kentucky player, but he knows how to recruit there, and he lets his guys play. So expect some high-scoring games from them, and they'll fill it up.
All right, so screenshot this. Keep it under the radar. And when we get around to April in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium, bring it. Highlights coming your way. It's a fun mid-major matchup in Frisco, Texas. Utah State leads VCU 45-36 our score at the break.
Go, 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 go. He's in the club, I might just pause. Look at my feet, come kiss my toes. I move my waistline fast and slow. I do too much, yeah, I do plenty. Friday and I just got paid. I can talk my talk for days. They love how I fling my braids. You know
Keep your chest lifted.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Ooh.
I win.
Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner.
Is this for real?
Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to
full advantage of the ball screens. with Falslev in the paint.
A really good possession by VCU. Tracy made the one more to Lewis. Couldn't find the basket, though. Barry Evans, a couple offensive rebounds. Couldn't come up with a basket.
Our three officials, Sean Seals, Ron Dixon, and John Johnson. You can see the early emphasis on letting these guys play through contact. Phil Martelli Jr. thought that there was a foul on Evans on the last possession. This time Drake Allen believes there's a foul, but he has the bucket to fall anyways. Now he lands on top of the logo. More whistles blow. Physicality is there, and another jump ball. That'll go back to VCU.
Drake Allen telling him, you're not getting that ball from me. Man, heady play from Allen. See the scrum here. Allen said, no, sir, you're not getting that ball from me tonight.
Jadrian Tracy looked back at the bench and said, my bad, maybe he missed the screen, missed an assignment there. He said he missed it. Then there were some words shared between Carson Templin and Phil Martelli Jr. on the sideline. He was talking with the VCU head coach. This one's tipped up in the air. Evans secures possession for the Rams. He'll drive, kick, corner three. Lewis knocks it down. Really like what he brings to the table.
Heck yeah. He's a freshman guard out here. And it's even harder to be a freshman guard in today's college basketball because you get 4 or 5 transfers every year coming into the program that are experienced guards.
Well, and what do the coaches say nowadays? Get old and stay old in college basketball?
For sure. You know, if you're a high school senior, it's a disadvantage right now going to a program unless you're a top 25 McDonald's All-American.
Templin works underneath, a junior out of Fairview, Texas. Now he's faced with Tracy. Tracy gets around him and a foul called. That's the 3rd foul on Templin in the game. And when you get a step on your defender like that, there are going to be fouls called. Wonder how long until Coach Calhoun decides to pull him out of the game with foul trouble. First player on either side with 4 fouls to his total.
Calhoun's got the bench depth. Last game he had 57 points off the bench.
10 from Perryman, 16 from King, 12 from Clark, 12 from Elamine, 7 from Jordy Barnes. They just continuously had point scoring opportunities all the way through. And there is Templin taking a seat. VCU now 2 for 6 from the free throw line as Tracy misses another. That's the one knock on his game today, as he's now 2 for 5 from the line. Pressure at half court. Falslev takes body contact and hooks that one up and in. He's into double figures.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot more physicality to stop Falslev from getting to the basket.
A beautiful That's the one knock on his game today, as he's now 2 for 5 from the line. Pressure at half court. Falslev takes body contact and hooks that one up and in. He's into double figures.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot more physicality to stop Falslev from getting to the basket.
A beautiful look from the all-conference guard. Tracy, quick trigger. Missed it, tracked down by Drake Allen in the corner. Falslev.
Every day is different, not one day is the same.
Hard work.
No es tenerle miedo realmente a la enfermedad, es saber cómo combatir la enfermedad.
And heartbreak.
When she passed away, it was because of diabetes.
But no matter your diabetes story, we fight for you and to find a cure. Join us at diabetes.org.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say, game on. Because whatever goal you're heading for, together, we'll get there.
That one.
More calcium, less sugar, fewer calories. Almond Breeze, the obvious choice.
There's a new sauce in town. In your snack wrap, Buffalo Ranch. Tangy, creamy, a little mild, and a little wild. Buffalo Ranch Snack Wrap for a limited time at McDonald's.
Welcome back to Frisco. Prior to this last time out, there were some words shared back and forth between the Utah State players.
Creamy, a little mild, and a little wild. Buffalo Ranch Snack Wrap for a limited time at McDonald's.
Welcome back to Frisco. Prior to this last time out, there were some words shared back and forth between the Utah State players and the VCU coaching staff. That's Phil Martelli on the left side of the screen. Then that's both head coaches. Coach Martelli on the left, Coach Jared Calhoun on the right, and both guys exchanging words at half. And boy, is it good to see the big man back out there and playing.
For sure. If I would have rolled my ankle the way that Djokovic did, I'd be out for about 3 years. And he came back in the second half.
We'll see how much of an impact he'll play as we come back to Frisco. Quick timeout on the floor. 7-0 run currently for Utah State.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work.
Or pre-diabetes. Every story is personal. There are stories of strength.
Every day is different, not one day is the same.
Hard work.
No es tenerle miedo realmente a la enfermedad, es saber cómo combatir la enfermedad.
And heartbreak.
When she passed away, it was because of diabetes.
But no matter your diabetes story, we fight for you and to find a cure. Join us at diabetes.org.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say,
said planet. I stopped myself. But of course, located in Richmond, Virginia, they play their home games at the Siegel Center. Had a sold-out crowd for a matchup with Wagner, a Division II opponent, earlier this year. Or excuse me, that was a D1 opponent, rather. It was VCU's first 100-point outing against the D1 foe since they took down Maryland Eastern Shore back in November of 2014. It had been 11 years since VCU had a scoring output like they did in that one. Djokovic back in the game, works it outside for Jennings. Again, Jennings having to fight for every inch on the drive, and he's fouled. Now, if you're Utah State, you got to be careful. These fouls starting to tally up a little bit. That's now their third of the first half, or the second half. And they have multiple players with multiple fouls. Templin already on the bench with 3. That's the second for Zach Keller. Even with that being said, VCU cannot buy a free throw. They're now 2 for 8 from the third of the first half, or the second half. And they have multiple players with multiple fouls. Templin already on the bench with 3. That's the second for Zach Keller. Even with that being said, VCU cannot buy a free throw. They're now 2 for 8 from the free throw line. Rams haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds until that free throw, and they finally break that curse. They hit one from the line. Brandon Jennings up to 7.
Screen wrap, because that's the play. Falstaff is supposed to come off of that screen towards the ball, but instead he back cuts because he sees his defenders overplaying him.
Now surpasses MJ Collins as the leading scorer on the Utah State side. And if the Aggies are going to make the run that they want to make in the postseason, getting back to championship caliber basketball, that 1-2 punch, Collins and Falstaff in the backcourt, is going to be dangerous. It has been dangerous in this one. Evans, Falstaff, long windup on the 3, he misses it. Perryman, stutter step. Clark offensive rebound, but it's taken away and a foul called against Utah State.
Djokovic with great length on that defensive possession. Perryman had a good look at a layup, but he tipped it.
Djokovic at 6'11", one of 2 players on the roster over 6'10". They need his length and his skill set to try and combat some of the length from Utah State. Obi King checks in. Transfer from Butler. second foul on Clark as well. Both teams make some substitutions. Out there for VCU, Lewis, Evans, Hill Jr., Ward, and Djokovic. It's Evans from the paint. His floater off the mark, fighting for the extra board. It's tipped out to Hill. Evans, short on the three, and a lot of whistles. This is going the other way. They're going to call over the back on Djokovic. What do you think?
It was puzzling from my view right here, but you see just a yank down. And that's why they get paid the big bucks. That's a great call from the referee. I did not see that.
And like you said, our angle, we were directly behind that pairing. And so was head coach Phil Martelli. You could see the reaction from Martelli. Going the other way. They're going to call over the back on Djokovic. What do you think?
It was puzzling from my view right here, but you see just a yank down. And that's why they get paid the big bucks. That's a great call from the referee. I did not see that.
And like you said, our angle, we were directly behind that pairing. And so was head coach Phil Martelli. You could see the reaction from Martelli on the sideline. They're still having a conversation here. They're still talking about this, even though I agree with you after seeing it on the replay, that was the right call.
And what happens right now?
Here. Led at halftime by 9. This one would bring it back within 11. Missed on the putback. And now going back up after another offensive rebound is Knoll. He'll go to the free throw line. Gotta like the extra effort here from VCU after a miss in transition. Multiple white jerseys in the paint looking for the offensive board.
That's right. It just takes a few energetic plays like Evans had there. Didn't connect on the putback dunk. Just a few plays like that, showing your teammates that you're giving all your energy for them. That can spark this VCU team.
Look at Jared Calhoun.
Good player going right, but you can tell he favors that right hand. And full court, if you give him full head of steam to his dominant hand, he's going to make good plays.
One of the early emotional leaders throughout his time in the college ranks. Of course, started his career at Snow College before playing at Southern Utah, then Utah Valley, and now in his 4th institution, playing with Utah State. And turnaround, Tipling gets it to go. 8 points for the Lone Star State product. Playing in front of family and friends after playing his prep basketball at Lovejoy High School about 10 miles from here. Look at the perimeter defense here from Utah. Turnaround, Tipling gets it to go. 8 points for the Lone Star State product. Playing in front of family and friends after playing his prep basketball at Lovejoy High School about 10 miles from here. Look at the perimeter defense here from Utah State. Nothing easy from the Aggies. 4-on-2 the other way. Kick out to Allen. Allen drives, draws another foul, and he's going back to the stripe.
Man, Allen's doing a good job putting pressure on the rim.
Year at Utah State before jumping to VCU. So there was a little contention between the two basketball programs after Ryan Odom went back and forth, and now Odom as the head coach for the Virginia Cavaliers. But we've got a battle in Frisco. Utah State pulling away from VCU, 11:42 left to play.
Welcome to the start of the new year.
Coming out hard like 8 ball, take control.
Worry about yourself, nobody else.
We've been flying, that's so.
Win.
Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner.
Is this for real?
Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to win, win, win. You could win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Free food, a TV, and this, and these. There's even $1 million prize.
I'm finally a winner!
Now you're getting it. Play in the McDonald's app and get your bag. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Utah State, of course, They call Logan, Utah home, the home of Blackstone and Crumble Cookie, member of the Mountain West currently, but that's until they move to the Pac-12. And of course, they are the Aggies, 29,000 enrolled there in Logan. And how about this fact? There's a long way between here and Logan, Utah, to the center of their campus. Member of the Mountain West currently, but that's until they move to the Pac-12. And of course, they are the Aggies, 29,000 enrolled there in Logan. And how about this fact? There's a long way between here and Logan, Utah, to the center of their campus. 1,276 miles to Logan, Utah. And then to Richmond, Virginia, it's only 1 mile difference.
That is crazy.
1,275. When we talked to both coaching staffs and we asked about why this game number now. We talked about earlier, it feels like the Aggies should be up by more, the way that they've dominated in almost every statistical column so far. However, VCU did lead for early portions of this matchup, but they were only up by a single possession at a time. Their largest lead was 3, so Utah State kind of went back and forth, and then they've put together multiple runs where they've taken over this basketball game.
Yeah, they have.
Elijah Perryman from half court. Off the pick and roll, there goes Templin. Turnaround, his hook shot is off the mark. Djokovic with the rebound. Limited minutes after his injury in the first half. Knoll lines up a 3, missed it. Oh, he let it drop. They're going to wipe it off and say it was in the cylinder, but I don't believe Djokovic actually touched that ball. It should be a 3, and I don't believe Djokovic actually made contact there. Here's a look at it.
Let's see.
Oh, maybe he did.
Yeah.
That one certainly looked like it. They wipe it off. It would have been a 3, possibly, if it does go in that way for Knoll. You can't fault Djokovic for trying to make a play there.
No, yeah, that's...
Knoll drives, baseline, he's fouled.
Yeah, Knoll's kind of brought some energy here for the Rams.
Yeah, sophomore transfer out of UConn. Preseason All A-10, 13 honoree. 5 points, 2 rebounds in the opener against Wagner for the Rams. He's got 6 points here. Most of VCU's points here in the second half have come from the free throw line, and that's not a good thing since they're only shooting 47% from the free throw line. They've hit 1 of their last 11 field goal attempts. Knoll, who was a 4th-team Max Prep All-American selection in high school. 3-time state champion and a consensus top 40 high school recruit. Taking a look at the skill set, the ball skills that he possesses, and how much that certainly stood out to this VCU staff. You've seen bits and pieces of that tonight.
Yeah, it's a common theme for coaches to go get winners. A guy who wins 3 state championships is going to be highly coveted.
Good move inside, and there's Djokovic with a high flying board. Rams. They want to run with it. There goes Lewis inside, draws the foul, gets it to go on the floater, and the freshman is into double figures, trying to bring some energy to the Rams bench.
Yeah, it takes a few plays like that. Shifty guard Nick Lewis is, but Djokovic does a good job of high pointing that rebound on the other end, starting the fast break. Yeah, man, when you start getting guards like Nick Lewis straight line driving, they're tough to guard.
Under 10 minutes to play. This free throw would cut the Utah State lead back down to 12. That would go a long way for VCU to try and build some rhythm. Remember, they brought a big lead in the first half back to 2 possessions, but then trailed by 9 at halftime. So they've made a run or 2 in this matchup already. Can they do it again?
Yeah, Utah State has Falslev out, which in my opinion is the real glue to this team.
Falslev, Clark, Keller, and Templin all with 3 fouls on the Utah State side. So Coach Calhoun having to mix and match a little bit with these lineups just to make sure nobody is out there with a chance to foul out currently. More pressure all the way through. Rebound ends up with Djokovic off the miss. Lewis, speed outside for Evans. He's cut off, lofts it up to an open man, and after the initial miss, Michael Bell puts it back up and in.
Djokovic keeps high pointing these rebounds and starting the fast break, and that's what's led to these points.
His impact is palpable from VCU. Colby King brings it past half court. An 8-0 run from VCU, starting to find some rhythm. Another miss here. Now they want to run again. Lewis slows it down, transition 3, missed it. And that would have sent the VCU fans in the building into hysterics, as there's Falslev checking back in for Utah State.
Yeah, he's got to get in the game when it's winning time.
Now the Aggies, who have been the ones dishing out scoring droughts today, have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes. Drake Allen back in the matchup as well. He's got 7 points. Allen on Lewis, outside, Falslev from 3. Missed it, rebound to Templin. Now it's a kick down low. Zach Keller off the feed from NJ Collins. That ends an 8-0 run for VCU. Jennings, jump stop in the lane, multiple arms over the top. It's blocked out of bounds. Looks like Keller was the one that made contact there.
And Utah State, the players want their coaches to review the play. Can you even review a play in college?
Yeah, you can.
You can review now?
Yes, you can. Yeah, I believe so. Depends on maybe the matchup or the venue. Maybe with this being Comerica Center, maybe they can't review it. Not entirely sure on the limitations there, but I believe you can. Falslev called for the foul. That's number 4 on Mason Falslev.
It's a big one.
There wasn't a ton of contact there. You can see the Utah State side not happy with the whistle.
Yeah, that's not a lot of foul contact there. That probably should be going the other way.
Sometimes you get the benefit of the doubt. And remember, Falslev just checked back in to try and halt that VCU run. They did just that, and he has to exit again as Elijah Perryman checks back in.
I'm always interested in coaches' mentality with good players that have 4 fouls. You know, when to take them out, why you take them out. Because it's typical to take guys out with 4 fouls when it happens, but in my opinion, you know, that's just like him fouling out. He's out of the game. You basically foul out with 4 if you take him out with 4, you know? So it's always interesting. It's a hard
As Elijah Perryman checks back in.
I'm always interested in coaches' mentality with good players that have 4 fouls. You know, when to take them out, why you take them out. Because it's typical to take guys out with 4 fouls when it happens, but in my opinion, you know, that's just like him fouling out. He's out of the game. You basically foul out with 4 if you take him out with 4, you know? So it's always interesting. It's a hard game to play with guys in foul trouble.
Well, and you just said it. You want them available in winning time, right?
Right.
And with 8 minutes left, certainly you can call it winning time, but more often than not, you want your best players available in the final 4 or 5 minutes.
When she passed away, it was because of diabetes.
But no matter your diabetes story, we fight for you and to find a cure. Join us at diabetes.org.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say, game on. Because whatever goal you're heading for,
has 50% more calcium than dairy milk with 0 grams of sugar and fewer calories.
Wish every choice was this obvious.
That one.
More calcium, less sugar, fewer calories. Almond Breeze, the obvious choice.
There's a new sauce in town. In your snack wrap, Buffalo Ranch. Tangy, creamy, a little mild, and a little wild. Buffalo Ranch Snack Wrap for a limited time at McDonald's.
VCU with quite the loaded upcoming schedule, multiple great events that they are a part of. That South Florida matchup on November 26th is the start of the battle for Atlantis down in the Nassau, Bahamas. They've got South Florida, then they take on maybe Western Kentucky or Vanderbilt, and then who knows from that point. Going forward, some really good matchups. How about that NC State matchup there? Wolfpack inside the top 10 of the AP top 25 at the moment.
Oh yeah, new head coach Will Wade.
Or Vanderbilt, and then who knows from that point forward. Some really good matchups. How about that NC State matchup there? Wolfpack inside the top 10 of the AP top 25 at the moment.
Oh yeah, new head coach Will Wade. They got the talented transfer from Texas Tech, Darian Williams. They're gonna be really good.
And it's the 12th steal of the game for Utah State. Clark back to Allen, rolls around the screen, puts up a 3, too strong. Tracy lost it out of play. A rare mistake there for Jadrian Tracy, who's actually been really good today, except from the free throw line.
Yeah, and that was a good play, pushing it downhill in the fast break, but just lost the handle. The free throws have been killer for VCU.
Only shooting 50%. Drive 10 for 20, and really that's the better percentage that they've had earlier were right around that 30 or 40% mark. Tracy specifically 2 for 7 from the free throw line. Perryman guarded closely by Lewis. This is a fun battle with two really good freshmen. From the stripe, 10 for 20, and really that's the better percentage that they've had earlier were right around that 30 or 40% mark. Tracy specifically 2 for 7 from the free throw line. Perryman guarded closely by Lewis. This is a fun battle with two really good freshmen. MJ Collins on Tracy. His floater rims out. Evans touched it last. It'll stay with the Aggies. Point Utah State advantage. Point Utah State advantage. First double figure outing as a part of this VCU squad, and third player on the Rams to hit at least 10. Collins drives, strong take to the rim. Whistle against Utah State.
Tracy is he's lost the ball a few times going to the rim.
Talked about foul trouble starting to play a factor here. If VCU can knock down some free throws, they would be within single digits right now. They even make half of their free throws that they've missed. The 10 that they've missed, they make 5 of those. Then they would be a 70-61 game. And there's another miss by Tracy.
Man, what started out as such a hot shooting game for him.
We talked about Collins being quiet. Tracy has been quiet in the second half. Both lethal goal scorers from the early portions of this ball game have been silenced a bit by the opposing defenses. And he does get that one to fall. How much does that help as a shooter at the line if you're struggling a little bit, you're missing a couple, just to see one go through the net?
Yeah, it helps a lot. You get a non-contested look at the basket. It gets your confidence going.
Perryman controlling possession. 5.5 to play in Frisco. At the line, if you're struggling a little bit, you're missing a couple, just to see one go through the net.
Yeah, it helps a lot. You get a non-contested look at the basket. It gets your confidence going.
Perryman controlling possession. 5.5 to play in Frisco. Drive inside, misdirect by Collins, but he misses the lay-in opportunity. Here goes Knoll. Evans cut off by some physicality down low, and this one overshoots Knoll. Opportunity, here goes Knoll. Evans cut off by some physicality down low, and this one overshoots Knoll. Aggie with 4 fouls against him. It's now Falslev, Clark, and Templin Don't forget, Zach Keller also has 3.
This is the best offense for the Rams. Noel getting to the free throw line.
They're starting to close the gap without making field goals. In the second half, VCU has scored from the field, DJ, 4 times. They are shooting 4 for 23 from the field. That is 17%. Only 35% for the game. There's a foul. Brandon Jennings called for the whistle.
And now you send Utah State to the line.
That was not intentional. Phil Martelli was not happy. There's Coach Martelli. The first free throw falls for Perryman. The bonus for Utah State. 18 fouls so far for the Rams. This one from 3. That one drops for Barry Evans. And just like that, VCU back within 10 for the first time since it was 40. This one from 3. That one drops for Barry Evans. And just like that, VCU back within 10 for the first time since it was 40. $39. It's been a while since the Rams have been this close.
Big possession here. No fouls if you're the Rams. A lot of physicality at the rim, walling off.
Collins.
Win. Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner. I win. Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner. Is this for real? Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to win, win, win. You can win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Free food, a TV, and this, and these.
win.
Congratulations, winner. You did it. You are a winner.
Is this for real?
Of course it's real. The Monopoly game at McDonald's is back. Welcome to the world of winners. Peel and play for a chance to win, win, win. You could win a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Free food, a TV, and this, and these. There's even $1 million prize.
I'm finally a winner!
Now you're getting it. Play in the McDonald's app and get your bag. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account.
Right. If he wasn't working already.
Oh, man. You saw the left ankle roll again. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, that's a look at Lazar Djokovic. If you look at the left side of the screen, he worked so hard to get back in this game. And you can tell just the look on his face there. Not happy with the fact that it gets rolled up again. He was an impact for them just upon re-entering. They needed him in the fold. You could tell VCU's a completely different team without him on the floor.
I mean, it's pretty amazing that VCU's only down 11 points right now.
Quad 1 win. Collins sitting at 19 points, hits this free throw up to 20 in back-to-back games to start his tenure as a Utah State Aggie. Had 23 on Monday against Westminster and has 20 tonight. Good move to the bucket that time. That's the LSU transfer, Tyrell Ward, with his first make of the second half. Pressure there. They thought there were 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, that looked like 10 seconds. I mean,
it was pretty close.
20 on the shot clock with him behind. That's a great dive on loose ball.
Allen on top of it. A whistle blows. Timeout awarded to VCU. And Coach Phil Martelli is left. Pressure there. They thought there were 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, that looked like 10 seconds. I mean,
it was pretty close.
20 on the shot clock with him behind. That's a great dive on loose ball.
Allen on top of it. A whistle blows. Timeout awarded to VCU. And Coach Phil Martelli is left. These officials haven't. They thought it was a 10-second violation, and I agree with you. I thought, looking at the shot clock, there were.
That's a great dive on loose ball.
Allen on top of it. A whistle blows. Timeout awarded to VCU. And Coach Phil Martelli is letting these officials have it. They thought it was a 10-second violation, and I agree with you. I thought, looking at the shot clock, there were 10 seconds that had already rolled off before that ball crossed half court.
Yeah.
And you can
but he said he pulled it out. Nick Lewis, the drive. Nick, wide open layup up and in. Oh, Utah State, a missed dunk on one end and a layup on the other for VCU. Aggies all out of sorts. Here comes Mason Falslev. Aggies have number. Mace has his shot blocked at the rim. No foul called. It'll be Utah State's ball with 1:41 left to go in the game. This is a 10-0 run by VCU. Aggies will inbound. 25 on the shot clock. Nursing. Desperately holding on to a 3-point lead. Drake Allen inbounds to Clark. Clark lost the handle, is still on the court. Falslev's able to collect. Falslev cranks the three. No good. Not a great shot by Mason, and here comes VCU with a chance to tie this game. Three is missed. No good. Zach Keller pulls it down. Woo! All right. Aggies still lead by 3, and this game isn't over by any stretch. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Drake Allen brings the ball down the court. Allen right side. Hands over to Collins. Collins then back to Falslev. Falslev at the elbow. Falslev looking to drive. Puts a shot up off the glass. No good. Draws the foul. Mason Falslev. 2 big free throws coming up for Mason. 75-72 exactly, 104 left to go. Not quite at the minute mark. But the Aggies have given up a 10-0 run and have gone the last 2.5 minutes without scoring. Mason Falslev from the free throw line. He'll have 2. Makes the first one. 76-72. Carson Templin checking into the game for Zach Keller. So you've got Mason with 4 fouls, Templin with 4 fouls, out on the court. Now it's back to a 2-possession game. Falslev with the second free throw. Missed it. All right, 4-point game, though, and here comes VCU. They'll try to score quickly. Nick Lewis working it around the horn. Back to Ford, who's been tremendous for VCU tonight. VCU sees the Aggies slip back into that zone. Cross-court pass back to Tracy. 3 feet behind the line. Tries to cross over, cranks the 3, shoots it, misses it badly. Ball still on the court, collected by VCU and put up and in. An offensive rebound gives VCU, cuts Utah State's lead down to 2. A bad pass, layup, good. It's Drake Allen has his pass intercepted, and it's tied up, 76 apiece. Drake Allen choreographed that pass. It was intercepted and laid up and in. And we are tied here in Frisco, Texas. My goodness. Tyrell Ford steals the ball and gets the layup. It's a 14-1 run by VCU. The Aggies have called timeout. There's going to be about a 4-second differential. Now, let's talk about if this game does go into overtime. The Aggies are in a bit of trouble. They've got 4 fouls on Clark, 4 fouls on Falslev, 4 fouls on Templin. Jennings, though, playing with 4 fouls, and Tracy also with 4 fouls. This is a really, really fascinating time here for Utah State. How do they handle early season adversity? VCU, who has not led in this game since the 12:55 mark of the first half, when they led 16-15. It's been all Aggies since. Falslev inbounds to Drake Allen. Tie game. Allen, Nick Lewis right in his back pocket. Drake Allen around the horn. Drake Allen trying to drive baseline. Slips it back to Falslev. Falslev cross court to Collins. He cranks the 3, leaves it short. Rebound, Gary Clark. His layup up and good. 15 seconds left. And the Aggies lead by 2. Gary Clark, the offensive rebound, has given the Aggies the lead back. 78-76. 15 seconds left. And the way VCU shooting the 3 ball right now, do not give anybody any space. Phil Martelli wants a timeout and gets it. 78-76. Utah State led big for most of the second half. Led by as many as 18 but a 14-1 run brought us to a tie game. The bucket by Gary Clark, who now, by the way, has double digits. He's got a double-double, 11 points and 14 rebounds. Can the Aggie defense come up with one more stop? Cannot give up a three here. Can absolutely not give up a three. VCU's probably going to take one. You just have to make sure that sucker is contested. 78-76. Hey, which schools will win the Learfield Directors Cup? Well, keep track of your school's performance by checking out L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Hopefully we're talking about a post-game show featuring an Aggie victory here in 15 seconds. Aggies have Drake Allen, Colby King into the game for defensive purposes, as well as Mason Falsev, Carson Templin, and MJ Collins. VCU's going to have to take it the length of the court. Brandon Jennings will inbound. Colby King drops back. Aggies will not contend the inbound pass. Inbound comes to Lewis. Lewis crosses over, gets to the midcourt stripe, works to the left side. In trouble. Still attacking. Leaves it to Ford. Ford drive. Ford, the shot up. No good, but a foul is called with 4.8 seconds left. A foul goes against Utah State because of course it is. And it will send Ford to the line for free throws. Ford, who's been one of the few really good free throw shooters tonight for VCU, steps up to the line. Tyrell Ward. First free throw is up. No good, he missed it. Off the back iron, he missed it. 78-76. Will probably have to miss this one on purpose. Wow, big miss by Tyrell Ward, who has done such a great job getting VCU back into this game. All right, keep an eye. He's going to have to miss this on purpose with 4.8 seconds left. And he makes it. On the free throw that he tried to make, or tried to miss, he actually rattled it in. 78-77. A 1-point lead for the Aggies. So if you're Utah State, it's simple. Don't turn it over and make 2 free throws. Inbound to Collins. Collins immediately fouled with 3.8 left. 2 free throws here. It's still a 1-possession game. But remember, VCU will have to take it the length of the court. MJ Collins to the line. Has only shot 2 free throws on the night. Utah State does not have a timeout. VCU does not have a timeout. 78-77. Aggies lead by 1. Collins stepping up to the line. He'll have 2. It's a 1-point game with a chance to extend it. First free throw by MJ is good. All right. Now let's talk some strategy. If he makes this, you got to foul. I don't know. I'm standing next to Tantuler. He says don't foul. 79-77. No timeout, so VCU is going to have to inbound immediately. So maybe don't foul because you don't have time to set up. Collins, second free throw, good. It's a 3-point game. 3.8 seconds left. VCU is going to have to try to shoot a 3 to win this game. Does Utah State foul? Long pass. It's up, tipped up, controlled by Falsev, and the Aggies are going to win this game. Oh, baby, the Aggies win it. 80-77, the final in this one, as the Aggies escape Frisco, Texas with a W. What a game tonight. The Aggies had all kinds of adversity but are able to finally hold on and get the W. We'll take a break, kick off your post-game show next. Aggies win 80-77 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear football fans, elevate your game with a tough-as-nails Toyota truck. Tacoma's a big